All right, so I wanted to do this film breakdown. I haven't done one in a while, pretty much since Jameis Winston took over because I didn't feel like it was necessary. But now we're getting to the points where Jameis Winston's success has people asking, hey, would we mind bringing him back? And I have a lot of thoughts about that, right? Like, I'm not immediately against it, but I do think that you can't bring back Jameis Winston next year in the same raw, uncut fashion that he's been playing football with the Cleveland Browns right now. There's a lot of stuff that Jameis Winston does that in December, when you're a 3-win football team, it quite frankly isn't going to bother you that much because he's not costing you the playoffs. That was pretty much gone by the time he took the starting job. He's not costing you anything. And even when he has a game where he throws pick sixes and you lose, yes, you're mad, but you have the silver lining of knowing that your draft position just improved because that's the only positive result you can get out of this season when it comes to straight results. So right now, Jameis Winston is fun and perfect for the moment. But if we're talking about applying him to a football team that's going to be playing games and hoping to make the playoffs next year, well, then we got some other questions to ask. Then we got to address some other things. So this is what this film breakdown is about. I want to point out some things that I think Jameis is doing well, point out some things I think we're doing well around Jameis, and then point out where we're falling short around Jameis, point out where Jameis is falling short, and point out what has to change with Jameis when he's playing these games with a neutral record in September, in October next year, versus basically being able to do whatever he wants because the team has 3 wins and it's December. So all of that being said, let's jump into it. We got a ton of plays. We're going to be here for a while. Strap in. All right. First play right here. I like this concept. It's a little, it's a move the pocket play with a run action paired beneath it. So what this play does really well is suck up the linebackers. So if you notice here, Jameis with the run action, you suck the linebackers in. You run a over with your tight end underneath it. So let's go ahead to the back of the beginning formation. So this tight end, he's running an over. You slant everybody on run action. What you're hoping is that you suck up all the running backs in on this run act. I mean, not the running backs, all the linebackers in on this run action. And then you can sneak this tight end over the formation. And basically what you're doing here is you're clearing out this portion of the field. Now, this play works really well, but the linebacker 40 does a good job here of maintaining his space. So you see the run action works, and it sucks in both these linebackers, but 40 does a good job of roboting. Well, not roboting, my bad. But finding Jameis, finding the ball. He did a great job finding the ball, and he mirrored the ball. And this put him in the way of this passing lane. Now, there's 2 things here I think should be addressed. One, where's this ball going? It's going to the tight end. Jameis tries to do something pretty slick here. It's what makes him different from a lot of backups. Jameis tries to no-look this, right? He's looking at Jerry Jeudy, but he's throwing this to 86. 86 has to step on 39. This is good. That's open. That's gold. The question is, how do you get that linebacker out the way if he bites? The only way you're going to get rid of this linebacker really is if you have somebody at quarterback who's just more of a threat to run. Because if that's the case, right, if Jameis was more of a threat to run, and this is why in this offense you want athletes at quarterback, right? Even when you run a pocket-based system, you want athletes because when you get them on the run, you want this linebacker, once he sees that, to be worried that this could be a run here, right? So I think that's what made, back in 2022, that's what made Deshaun Watson so appealing to the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, we live in a world where Deshaun Watson is no longer an appealing option for the Cleveland Browns at quarterback. So you got to figure out, okay, in a new quarterback, you probably want that skill set here. Jameis, not a great runner. We know this, right? He can scoot a little bit, but he's not going to make a linebacker break to the flat because he's worried about getting beat. For a few yards here, right? Like this linebacker feels pretty good about getting him behind that line of scrimmage. So because that's the case, he can maintain some depth, stay in that passing window, and not give Jameis a lane to throw here. So this is something to think about, right, for the future when you're talking about who you're going to draft in the future. This is why you want more of an athlete there, because a lot of this stuff works better when these linebackers have a lot of things to think about, right? Like a lot of what Kevin Stefanski likes to do, a lot of what Ken Dorsey likes to do, but mainly Kevin likes to do is put these linebackers in conflict. He's going to put them in conflict with play action. He's going to put them in conflict with run action. You don't know the difference between run action and play action? Play action is when the quarterback does a ball fake, but the offensive line pass blocks. Run action is when the offensive line run fakes and there is a run fake from the quarterback as well. So he likes to manipulate the linebackers like that. He likes to manipulate the linebackers with different route concepts, and he likes to manipulate the linebackers by creating pressure on them to this is what I call gravity on them towards the line of scrimmage because they're afraid of the quarterback's athletic ability. That's another layer to this, right? So that's something that I think the Browns are going to covet in whoever they look at. Now, you don't got to be Cam Newton. You ain't got to be Lamar Jackson, right? You don't got to draft the best athlete in the class. But that athleticism does bring gravity, also adds conflict for these linebackers. And you notice here, play like this linebacker, we're worried about that. That's one of them plays we've seen it all the time. Linebacker runs up, tries to tackle Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson dots that thing to Mark Andrews. It's a first down, and we're all annoyed, and we're wondering, why didn't we cover that? That's why. Lamar got hella gravity. Jameis don't. So you can just pay the pass lane with Jameis. You ain't worried about nothing. And he pays the pass lane, gets his hand up, blocks that ball. So think about that. That's something to think about when you're wondering what the skill set is going to be for a quarterback that the Browns draft. That's something that you should keep in your mind here. All right, let's go to the run game because I think the run game has some issues here too. This is a good play from the run game. This is not a joke or anything. This is just like a successful play they had. You're going to notice that when the Browns have success in the run game, it's very specific. It's always to the outside, and it's always running away from the offensive line. That there's a reason for this, right? The Browns' offensive line is demonstrated multiple times. Sorry about that noise. It's demonstrated multiple times that they don't have a ton of power off the line of scrimmage anymore, right? So you notice how they went here? They went with finesse, right? They're turning guys, and then they're getting out. That works for the Browns. Now, the problem with the Browns is that they're old on the offensive line. So that finesse, sometimes it's there. Sometimes it's not. Another thing here, right? This is a different run play. Look what happens here. Look where Wyatt Teller is. This is where the line of scrimmage is. This is where Wyatt Teller is. See that? See that? That's called resetting the line. The line got reset on Wyatt. This is a problem if you're the Browns. Because if there is one dude on this offensive line that should not be getting reset, it's him. That's your most powerful offensive lineman, right? It's Wyatt Teller. If he in this system is getting reset, you have a problem. And the problem is that this happens consistently with Wyatt. What I think the issue is with the Browns' offensive line is twofold. One, all these guys are older. Yes, that matters. There have been some injuries. Obviously, Jermaine Ifedi's playing left tackle. That matters. I think Wyatt Teller's been inconsistent. Yes, that matters. But I think the overall thing that's happened is that the Browns have changed how they want to run the ball. They used to do wide zone. Now, when you're doing wide zone, You doing a ton of pulls, right? You pulling guys, you're moving guys, you're getting away from the line of scrimmage, you're running a lot. So these offensive linemen that you get when you're running wide zone are more prioritized for being good athletes, not necessarily strong. Not saying Wyatt Teller's not strong, not saying Joe Bitonio's not strong, but their strength is their athletic ability and how they move as athletes. Well, now they're not doing that as much. They're older, so they're not as athletic, so they've aged. And then you're putting them in a situation where they're playing a lot of man block runs like this right here. This is man block run, right? Man, 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 double, double, man, move up, man. This is man. And the Browns don't have the size to win in man consistently on the line of scrimmage. Because, bam, look at that. Push back, two gapping. That's a run stop. Could have been a big play, but now it's a run stop. See what I mean? It's a problem for the Browns. It's a problem. All right, let's continue. Same thing, right? Look at the lack of push we're getting. Look who's getting reset again. That's why I tell her getting reset. See? Line of scrimmage, getting reset. Reset. Three guys get reset. Jack's not able to maintain that seal. We need to get bigger and stronger on this offensive line. I think these run block schemes work. Every team runs them. We just don't got the right personnel. We're not big enough. We're not strong enough. We have a wide zone block scheme, and we're not athletic enough to run it anymore with our guys because we gotten older. We just need to change a lot of these guys out. That's just a hard truth about the run game. The offensive linemen need to be switched out. All right. This is something I think Jameis needs to do to be able to be somebody that the team trusts in games that matter. Right? We're going to watch this. He throws that to Jerry Jeudy, and that's a bad decision here. Keep in mind the down and distance. It's first down and 10. Jameis gets to the top of his drop, and he knows what coverage this is, right? It's zone coverage. It's tight zone coverage too, right? Because there's nobody in the boundary area. So you know the boundary area is open, right? So all of this is open because he's carrying deep third. He's carrying deep third. Curl flat, hook curl, and then your curl flat defender right here, this guy, he's playing on the seam. Now, Jameis sees that, and instead of throwing to the open space on 1st and 10, he tries to throw over that linebacker to get a big gain. This is at the beginning of the game, too. Jameis does not have to throw haymakers every time, right? I think that's the problem with Jameis. It's not just that he throws 58 times. It's that he's throwing 58 haymakers every time. And if you throw that many haymakers in a fight, you're going to get caught. And he gets caught fairly often. So you need to get him to reduce the amount of haymakers he throws, right? This is a perfect opportunity to do so. And he does this multiple times where he ignores David Njoku on 1st and 10 when he shouldn't. Right here, 1st and 10. Just do what's easy and get rid of that ball. You see it right there. Off coverage, curl flat defender, hanging near the seam. Okay, let's just throw it to David Njoku, give him the ball, let him get up the field. You don't got to make the play here to try to get downfield. David Njoku could have got all that yardage just by you throwing the simple ball. If Jameis ever masters understanding that he doesn't always have to throw a haymaker to land damage on a defense, he would be a quarterback that you could play with for quite a while. But his inability to grasp that so far in his career has been something that's hurt him, and it still pops up from time to time, right? Don't throw the haymaker. He tries to throw the haymaker here, right? David Njoku can take your jab and turn it into a haymaker. Gotta give him that ball here. 1st and 10. You want to do all the crazy stuff on second and third down? Go be it. Do it. Like, that's Jameis ball. But 1st and 10, I'm gonna need you to just take what's there. Right? That's the most important thing. The reason why I think Jameis has some potential to be more than just a regular bridge is that he has balls that he throws that are quite frankly really good. Look at this route by Elijah Moore, by the way. Right? Look what he does to this defender. Ooh, cuts him up. 39 had a bad day. Slices this in here. Look at that throw. Boom. Good job. Way to slide there for Elijah, too. Make sure you avoid the contact, avoid the possibility of that ball getting jarred loose. Really, really think that's smart. Another one right here. I have marked here, Jameis, be less greedy on this one. Not this play, but the next one. Why do I have this marked here? What does he do? I don't know if that was greedy. He just should have threw that to David and Njoku. Was it 1st and 10? 1st and 10. Yeah. He just had his eyes in the wrong place here, to be fair to him, though. Right? Like, yeah, David's open. But I'm just proud of him for not throwing that out, because he could have threw that outfield side and that could have been a problem. Because I could definitely see him thinking that out is there on the field side, but that corner is lurking on that. Either way, just get the ball to David there. Like, I think the emphasis should be on 1st and 10. Let's see what David can do with it, right? I think you'll have a lot of opportunities to get the ball to David on 1st and 10. All right, let's go back here. This is a great job by Elijah Moore, just filling out this zone. He's really getting comfortable against zone. Look how he just fills this out and it slides in. That's Amari Cooper like. Remember how Amari Cooper would do shit like this and it would be like really good, really effective versus zone? Yeah, Elijah Moore has inherited that, right? Like, he just fills that out. Good job there. I'm starting to think you should probably bring Elijah Moore back. 39 was food. Look how easy he lets Mike Woods get the inside release on him. Watch this. Watch this. And think about this, right? This is not a situation where he should be given the outside release. Well, unless they're like running some kind of invert, right? And he's, and this safety's playing like inside, and then you got tons of help here, right? But I don't think this is like coverage 6 or something like that where they're running half 3 and then like 4 over here. Not 4, my bad. Where they're running 4 on one side, or maybe they're running 2 and 4 on the other. I don't think that's what's going on here. I think this is just cover 2. Looks like cover 2 base alignment. And they're trusting their guys in man with too high over top. He just lets Jerry Jeudy get inside release there, like super easy. I'm not Jerry Jeudy, my bad. Mike Woods get inside release there. Yeah, he just lets him get inside release too easy. Good job by Mike Woods taking advantage of it. It's an end zone play. It's another one where they move the pocket, right? This is one, again, where I'm like, hey, if you want to do stuff like this, it's just so much more effective when you have an athlete back there at quarterback. Because since Jameis can't get around this corner, he can't put any pressure on this safety to come down and this linebacker to come down and maybe the safety to rotate over here, because then that will open up Jerry Jeudy on his over. But since he can't put that pressure there, everybody can just sit and hover, and it ends up just being good coverage. Something that they're going to look for, right? Like, the next quarterback that they draft, I'm pretty sure will be a decent athlete. At least you would hope. I love how David Njoku came back from this, right? runs a pretty decent route, but he just doesn't finish this. Like, you need to finish that play, hang on to that ball. And you expect him to, right? A DB shouldn't be able to get that ball out your belly. You're a big dog, right? But you know what? Jameis comes back, throws this thing up for David, and he comes down with it big time. So it doesn't matter that he didn't catch that one before. So good job there by David. And I'll say this and I say it again. Jameis Winston, the only quarterback I've seen throw the ball in Cleveland Browns uniform to David Njoku that actually gives him 50-50 balls in the red zone on a consistent basis. And it seems like it's a good idea. David's struggling all over the place this season. He's still getting some of them 50-50 balls. I feel like we should take advantage of that more often. I don't know why it took Jameis Winston for us to see it, but we should probably do that a little bit more often, right? Oh, 39 being food. Ooh, top of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Elijah Moore. Is it Elijah Moore's time to get some? Yeah. Now, this time, he doesn't just like let him get a clean release. He actually puts a hand on him good, but he messes up because he's not paying attention where his hips are. 39. So he ends up just giving Elijah Moore all the leverage in the world to go underneath him and just throw him off without even having to extend. Like, look, Elijah never has to extend that arm because he put his hips. He put himself in such bad position, right? He's over. He's trying to hog. Like, it's like he's thinking it's going to be a jump ball. He just, boom, sold the shit out that route. Yeah. I think 39 thought it was a 9, right? Thought it was a 9 all the way until he ended up on the ground watching him catch the ball. Great route by Elijah. All right. So this one, I was initially mad when I first saw it, but now that I see what happened, it's just unfortunate. But look, this is how you could go on Twitter, right, and see something like this. And then somebody be like, oh my God, why didn't Jameis throw that ball to David Njoku? That would have been a big play. And technically, yes, that's right. But look what happens here, right? Watch David Njoku and watch Jameis Winston's eyes. You see Jameis is coming out. It's a broken play. He's looking for something, right? This play is completely broken. Nick Bonito broke it. Now, Jameis is looking for somebody to throw the ball to now. David looks like, if you're Jameis looking at him right now, like Jameis is looking at him like, okay, I'm going to get the ball to him. But David looked like he's looking to block. So what does Jameis do? He resets. He just throws this ball to Elijah Moore or whoever that is next to him. But I think the reason he doesn't go to David here isn't because he didn't see him or want to go to David. Is right here, this split second. When he looked at David, they weren't on the same page, right? I think Jameis was looking at David and thinking to himself, okay, David, I'm about to throw this to you. Keep looking at me. And David was looking at Jameis and was like, oh, shit, I got space. Let me go see where I'm at and sink into this zone. And Jameis like, you're doing too much. I got to throw this. They just got to get on the same page on that kind of stuff. All right. What we got here? Oh, yeah. Jameis does a great job realizing 39 put himself out of position. Because look at 39 here. Top of your screen. Let's go top of your screen, 39. Puts himself out of position almost immediately. Look at this. Just kind of hops towards the numbers. Yeah, just throw that thing. Easy. Good job, Jameis. Way to see it. That's good stuff. Run game. All right. So let's talk about Nick Chubb. When I watch Nick Chubb on film, I don't see a player whose athleticism has diminished. I see a player who's struggling with contact balance, who did not used to struggle with contact balance. I think this indicates to me, it's my theory, my own personal speculation. I think this indicates to me that Nick Chubb isn't washed. He just needs a full off-season program to get back to where he was squatting, to get back to where he was lifting, so he feels like he's in his body again. Because it just doesn't feel like he's confident in his body right now. But this happens a lot with running backs who come back during the season, especially with a running back like Nick Chubb, who's used to benching like almost Olympic level weight. I just think he needs a full off-season weight program to get back to feeling like he will, and Nick Chubb will look a lot better next year. So if I'm the Browns, I hope they don't give up on him, because I think next year he's going to be good. I don't know if he's going to be the Nick Chubb we all remember, 5 yards to carry, but he'll be much better than what he is right now. Another thing, right? We talked earlier about what Kevin Stefanski's going to look for in his offense. We talked about somebody who could put pressure on linebackers with their ability to run. Doesn't have to be an amazing runner, but still has to be a threat. Another thing you need in this offense is lateral flexibility, right? Are you able to move left and right well? And off-platform arm strength, because when you run a lot of boots, when you run a lot of play action, this shit gonna happen to you. But you can really make a big play out of it if you have that off-platform arm strength. Now, Jameis has never been known for off-platform arm strength. This is something that Joe Flacco actually did quite well last year, right? Off-platform, being able to get that ball to Elijah Moore, and then Elijah Moore could run it, and that's a huge play, right? There's nobody there. He's going to make a huge play there. So, again, when you're looking for things that this offense loves and takes advantage of, right? We know you need an on-target thrower, an on-time guy, a guy who can work within structure, all of that. But that lateral athleticism and that off-platform ball strength, I mean, not ball strength, arm strength, y'all, is important. All right. See here, Nick Chubb running. Like, this looks like Nick Chubb when he gets the ball in space and he's just running. He looks like Nick Chubb. I don't think the athleticism is what's out, or the vision. The vision's still very good. Like, this has been what Nick Chubb has been. It's just like the contact balance and then the contact confidence don't seem like it is where it is. And I think that's just, he needs to get into a weight program again. Start lifting like he's used to. Again, man, we lack power on the line of scrimmage. We're just getting washed every time. Look at this. Jermaine Ifedi loses his man. That leads to just another bad run play. Another one right here, what happens? Ethan Posick does nothing 96. We need to get stronger. Look, 2 dudes helped on him and nothing. We need to get bigger and stronger on the offensive line. We need big bodies, right? This run play. How in the world do we not win this run? Jerome Ford gets pushed out by a DB. That's not even the part that pisses me off the most. How in the world does this block not get sealed off when Elijah Moore has him, and then Jermaine Ifedi, all you got to do is clean him up? What is this? You pushed him into the play, brother. Come on, man. Clean that up. We could talk about Jerome Ford not finishing the run. Yeah, that sucks too. But Jerome Ford probably beats him around the corner. Jermaine Ifedi doesn't give him a boost. Look at this. He was out the way. Just push him on the ground. Finish that off. All right. Again, look. We're not powerful. We're not powerful. Look, Wyatt Teller, not moving ass. Nobody's moving ass. Nobody. Nobody's moving people, nothing. Everybody's getting moved, right? Jermaine Ifedi getting washed. Okay, that is what it is, right? But that's not even the dude who makes the play. Dude who makes the play, done push Wyatt Teller into a two gap. Easy. Come on. Come on. It ain't complicated. These run schemes work other places. We aren't powerful right now. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, it's the offensive line coaches causing this to happen. Look, man, Bill Callahan, or whoever the offensive line coach is right now, is not going to make these dudes stronger. They're playing a style of football that they're not good at, and they're not powerful enough to do it. We need to switch out the personnel. That's really it. It's that simple. We need to switch out the personnel, especially in the interior. We need to get bigger. We need big guards if we're going to run the ball like this. And I think there's a lot of reason to run the ball like that, but you need big guards. Again, man, watch how easy 39 lets Mike Woods get inside leverage here. And this is even more egregious, man, because I believe this is man with a deep safety over top. Like, how do you let that happen, bro? Like, he got cooked. Mike Woods, what he do? Mike Woods hit him with the Michael Jackson. Ooh. Moonwalked on him. Okay, let me stop playing. Moonwalked on him, though. Look at that. That's it. That's all it took to wash you. If Cedric Tillman were there, that would have been nasty. Washed him completely. All right, so it's 3rd and like 15. This is a great job by Jameis working back through this play, right? And the thing I appreciate about Jameis, he didn't go crazy man here. Because what would have been crazy man is him deciding on the field side. And when I say field side, that's the long side of the field, right? If Jameis is on this hash and all of this extra space is here, that's field side. Right? Field side, strong side. Well, it's not really strong side. Strong side is just where the tight end lines up. But given that David Njoku's right there, that's the strong side too. It's just field side is usually where the tight end lines up. And then this is what you would call weak side or short side of the field. I was so worried that Jameis was going to try to throw this corner and it would have been intercepted because he's there and he's lurking. He got the angle. That would have been picked off. The safety's also coming. But he does a great job of seeing that danger, right? This is where Jameis has progressed. And he goes, okay, nah, I ain't doing that, right? He sees these two. No, I'm not going to make that decision. And then he works back and gives that ball to Jerry Jeudy. If we can get more of this from Jameis Winston, he could be a winning quarterback. Question is, I don't know if that's going to be the case in this game. Through 17 intermediate passes in this one game. 17. That led the league with 5 intermediate passes to spare. Joe Burrow, who scored 38 points on Sunday, was second with 12 in week 13. Jameis Winston threw 17 intermediate passes. This is what I mean by he's throwing haymakers. Think of Jameis Winston as a pitcher, right? In baseball, we have this thing called the pitch count. And when you see a pitcher start to throw way too many pitches, you go to the bullpen because you know that man's arm is probably shot. The same thing needs to apply for Jameis. You need to have a pitch count for a dude like Jameis. Because Jameis is not just going to throw the ball a lot. Jameis is going to throw the ball and throw haymakers a ton. That's what Jameis Winston does. He throws haymakers. If you go through this game, Jameis Winston again, 17 intermediate passes. To put that in context, it took Deshaun Watson a month of football to throw 17 intermediate passes. He did this in one game. Jameis is always going to throw these haymakers. So if you're the coach of a team that employs Jameis to play quarterback, you have to be aware of that. Because, yeah, when he makes a haymaker like this, you love it, right? But this is like 55 throws in. He's tired. So what happens on the next play, right? When he tries to throw that next haymaker, right? This next play, he's on the field side. And look what happens. He throws a field side out, 55 throws in, and it's just late. Why? Because he's thrown too many haymakers. Pick six. Pick six. By the way, I know a lot of people were mad at Elijah Moore for not downing him. I don't think he was ever going to have an opportunity to down him. Like, by the time he got his bearings from the collision, my man was up and gone. And then he tried to sprint back, and then he got cracked. Well, he didn't get cracked, but he got tagged. But anyways, this is the price of them haymakers. And look, to Jameis's credit, that was not a knockout blow. He comes back here again and throws another haymaker. It almost gets intercepted. He gets away with it. And then he comes back again and he throws another haymaker. And then he lands it. And then he comes back again and he throws another haymaker. Look at this. This is his 57th throw of the game. And he almost damn near lands that. But then he tries to throw his last haymaker and he ain't got it. Right? The same way you wouldn't let a pitcher get past a certain pitch count because you know if they get past a certain pitch count, the arm can get real erratic and then you give up a home run. That's what happened here with Jameis. Jameis was the pitcher that the coach or the manager let get past the pitch count, and then he gave up 3 home runs in the 8th inning. Pitched a hell of a game before that, but he gave up 3 home runs at the end. And in baseball, we don't really blame that on the pitcher. We blame that on the manager not pulling him. Now, obviously, it's a little different in football. You can't just pull Jameis out and get somebody from the bullpen to throw for Jameis. What you have to do is understand that you have to build a team next year if you're going to bring back Jameis that does not ask him to throw the ball 60 times. Because that's well past his pitch count. His pitch count should be 40. That should be the maximum. And that's generous. But if you want to win games with Jameis Winston, you have to understand who he is. He's going to throw haymakers. So because he likes to throw haymakers, right? Think of him as a pitcher who throws 110 miles per hour for a fastball. He's going to go to that a lot. But because he likes to go to that, you got to get him out there in the 7th inning. If you're the Browns, you can't ask Jameis to be your closer too. You got to have a run game to close for Jameis. That's going to have to be the biggest priority this offseason. Get some of these offensive linemen out of here, replace them with some bigger guys, and get this run game going. Whether it's Jameis, Sam Darnold, whoever you want to bring in, it could be Aaron Rodgers. They're going to all have pitch counts. So whoever you want to bring in here, they're going to have pitch counts. You're not going to be able to throw 60 times with them. They're not going to be super young and spry. And even if it's a rookie, still got a pitch count. That's got to be the number one focus here this offseason. Because I think you fix a couple things on defense, you draft good, you could be a 10-11 win team next year with the talent you have on the roster. Even with somebody like Jameis playing quarterback. But you gotta put him on a pitch count. His success in New Orleans, he was on the pitch count. That's how you can be successful with him. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Y'all have a great day. Have a better night.